Good evening, gentlemen. Your briefly may now begin.
Thank you for joining us for another Gentleman's Briefly. These are our shorter form episodes where we talk about, some of the things that we don't have the time for on the main podcast because there are too many things. And for this episode, I have with me one of the members of the League of Melanated Gentlemen.
It is me, Jordan. I'm just out here hanging around.
Yeah, we're having a good time, you know. So, uh, in the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Jordan and I discussed some of our favorites in anime. We had some categories, and we just kind of talked through who we like. And you know, today we're going to do the same thing, but with cartoons as opposed to anime. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, what's the difference? We will be looking at Western animation as opposed to anime, which is mostly created on the eastern part of this world. And so we have five categories. We have our favorite male, female, non-human, non-powered, and ability. So in the last episode, we had favorite move because in anime, it doesn't happen if you don't call it out. Like you have to name the move and you have to call it as you do it.
Facts.
Otherwise, it's not real and it won't hurt anybody. So, that's not really a thing over here. And so we just did um kind of power and or ability of a character. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Jordan, are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So for favorite male character, and for the record, this is not necessarily just favorite across the board of all time. This is an ever-changing list. If you ask me tomorrow, if you asked me an hour ago, these could be different. So
Just
you
ask
never
me an
really
hour
know.
from now too. It could be different.
Yeah, like you never really know what's going to happen here. And so just because I'm giving you these now, that's just my now answer. So, my one of my favorite male characters from the Western side, um, Space Ghost,
Coast to coast.
and specifically Coast to Coast. I don't know what the fuck Space Ghost was doing before he had a talk show. And so I'm not talking about that Space Ghost. I'm talking about Space Ghost Coast to Coast, the one with the talk show, the one who was just talking crazy to people, who had like Moltar
And
and
Brax.
Zorak and
Oh,
Brak,
yeah, whatever
yeah,
his name
just on
is.
his like handling his behind the scenes stuff, and they would be talking cash shit, and then he would just blast them. He was talking crazy to real life people,
Yeah,
like celebrities who had nothing to do. And yeah, Space Ghost was probably the first not for kids show that I vividly remember,
same.
and it was a good time. I,
I
I really enjoyed, like, the whole concept was absurd, and it was a good time.
I actually haven't thought about this show in a long time, and I might have to go back and find this and watch this because like I pulled it up right now. It ran for 11 seasons, came out in 94, but every episode is 5 minutes. So like when I was younger, I always thought I was like, man, this is super short. Like, what is this? Like, did I just fall asleep in it? Like, what's going on? But no, they were just 5 minutes, came out every week, it looks like.
Yeah,
A new episode every week.
because I remember, like, I would always wonder, like, do I know this celebrity?
Yeah.
And because I was so young at the time, I usually didn't, but sometimes I'd know who it was. Like, I feel like he interviewed one of the youngest sister from the Brady Bunch. I feel like I remember that.
I remember Hulk Hogan. I remember that one. I'm gonna have to go back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through these and like find people that I know and like watch it now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Space Ghost is a show they could easily bring that back and do
Right,
that right now. Like
right.
that would have been a great pandemic show.
Actually, you right about that. Because like it literally takes not that much effort. They could have been at their house recording, put that thing together. Boom, you good.
Yeah. Like I would love a today Space Ghost. as many interview type shows as there are, like with all the actual late night shows and Hot Ones and Shannon Sharp doing like everybody got an interview show and a podcast. So yeah, Space Ghost is easy.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah, let's bring back Space Ghost.
ended it last episode was in 2008. That's crazy. That is
Yeah, that's
late.
the thing. I was old enough to like know what was going on by that point. So yeah, um, Space Ghost, loved it.
Okay. So for my favorite male character, this is one of the shows I talk about all the time, and this is Cartman from South Park. Cartman is probably one of the most ridiculous kids out there. Like Cartman has done so much to so many people. Everyone hates him and loves him at the same time. This character is like this is he is just he is to me he's the best character in South Park, but he's also the worst character in South Park because if I went to school with this kid, I would we would have problems. Like I would we would have to fight because like he'd be talking mad shit to everybody, but then also as soon as he gets hit, he runs off crying. So it's like he's a big weenie at the end of the day. But yeah, Cartman, man, I love South Park. I love Cartman. He is just ridiculous.
Yeah, Cartman is one of those characters like terrible fucking guy.
Yeah,
Very entertaining to watch.
yeah.
Like I yes, I would never want to actually exist with Cartman.
No.
Like
And so
If Cartman was a real person, like yeah, it would be a problem.
some of my favorite episodes is like he had one where he pretended to be special, and he went to the Special Olympics and he was training for and he actually lost to all the other contestants in the Special Olympics. That was a hilarious episode. He had another episode where he basically killed one kid's parents and
And
chopped them
turn him
up
into chili.
and turned them into chili. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that
That
was
is wild.
when he made that kid eat his parents. Like
Yeah.
that was wild to me.
Yeah, man. Cartman has done like some of the most ridiculous stuff.
But that yeah, that's yeah. Oh goodness. Okay. For female character, I went with Shigo from Kim Possible. Shigo was great for a lot of reasons, but I loved Shigo because Shigo was incredibly sarcastic, and I don't. Shigo was very capable. Like the fact that Shigo was Dr. Draken's muscle. I guess her power was just like blasts.
Yeah, I never understood her powers.
I think it was just blasts because all of the other goes had pretty clear powers. Like one had super strength, I think one had super speed. There were some twin like their powers were a lot more to the point. But yeah, like I think she just energy blast was her power.
Yeah, it says
And
she
from her
had
hands.
energy can use to heat or melt anything she touches or fired as a direct energy attack, like a near laser light precision. I mean, sounds like
So
Jubilee. I don't know.
it sounds more like havoc, but okay.
Yeah, yeah, I guess because yeah, they're like some concussive blasts.
Because yeah,
Yeah,
I guess Havoc shoots more like beams, but yeah, like she can shoot pretty much balls of. She can do Starfire, yeah,
I give you Starfire. Yeah, yeah, I give you Starfire.
but yeah, Shigo was very capable. Like Kim Possible had to work for that meal every time, and yeah, Shigo's personality was just funny to me. Like
Did
I loved Shigo.
did they say where she got her powers from? Like, do I not remember this?
I think that her family just had powers because all of her brothers had powers too. So I think they may have just woke up with powers because they were like a whole superhero team at one point, and then
Yeah,
she
true.
defected.
Hmm. That that's interesting. Yeah, I guess they just woke up like this.
Yeah, but yeah, Shigo was great.
So from one green character to another green character, my favorite female character is Buttercup. Come on now. This was the best out of the three. I feel like if
Agreed.
you were the young angsty guy who who likes the violence and likes to, punch stuff and be angry. It's just different stuff. Like Buttercup, that was your choice. If you were the bubbly person, the laughing person, the giggling person, the childish person, you were the Bubbles. And then if you thought you were the best and the leader of the group, you was Blossom. But for the real ones, we know Buttercup is out there.
And I didn't like that Buttercup didn't get a special power. Like I kind of had a problem with that because Blossom could blow ice, Bubbles could talk to animals, and Buttercup was just throwing nubs
Yes, so that's what I was gonna say. That was her special power. She was throwing hands.
that she didn't have.
She was, yeah, throwing nubs.
Yeah, but yeah, I love Buttercup. Buttercup was about that action. Buttercup was yeah, she if on site was a person, it
Yeah.
was Buttercup. Like Buttercup would those nubs were rated E for everyone.
Uh, it's funny because like I'm looking up her superpowers, and it says she's the strongest out of three, which we knew. She was the fastest out of the three, which we knew. And then her special ability is shown to be able to curl her tongue. Come on, bro. What kind of power is
All
that?
right.
Yeah, like
All right.
I do remember the episode she did the little tongue thing. But like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
What are we doing?
yeah, what are we doing? Like, she was a badass person. You gonna give her that? Is that what it is?
Yeah. But it sounds like she was better at like all of the standard powers. She was the best at
Like, she
them
was physically
of the
better than
three.
everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, she couldn't blow ice or talk to animals. But whatever. So yeah, in
Yeah,
that game of tag, she's the winner.
yeah. But even in the new show, like my kids were watching, like I still really liked Buttercup. I'm not yeah, I still really like Buttercup. Like she was really good in the new show too.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't got the new Powerpuff Girl. That was one of those shows. So I've talked about how I for a long time I refused to watch Teen Titans Go because that's not my Teen Titans.
I'm right there with you.
And then I did, and that
Yep.
show is hilarious.
That show is
I
hilarious.
love it so much. It's so good. And I'm in that same like first boat with this new Powerpuff Girls. Like I refuse to watch it because it's not my Powerpuff Girls. And the problem is with how good Teen Titans Go was, I'm worried that if I watch this new Powerpuff Girls, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I like it.
I wonder if everybody our age felt that way. Like Teen Titans, like bro, Teen Titans Go. That's not my show. This is some little ADHD version of Teen Titans, and you watch it like, oh my god, this
I
is
wanted
amazing.
I wanted to hate it. And it's so funny. But that just speaks to DC's ability to do animation.
Yeah,
So yeah, like it's really funny. If you haven't watched it or if you felt the same way we did, just go ahead and give it some time because
yeah. No,
it's worth your time. It's so dumb, but it's so funny.
no, they
And
cooked with that one.
they pay a lot of homage to the old show.
Oh yeah, there were like off top of it, like there's at least 6 episodes where they just straight up talked the open. They straight up brought the animation into the episode. Like they brought those characters in.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's got dumb shit that you wouldn't think. Like you're like, if I told you that that's what happened, you'd be like, this is stupid. But when you see it, you're like, this is hilarious.
And there's so many references to other DC stuff too, which is
Yes,
crazy.
they have the full catalog.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's really good. But okay. We very specifically decided we were not going to use any comic book characters for this list. So yeah, because they're all over cartoons and that would have been easy, but
I mean, I would have picked all the X-Men. That's not fair. Come on now.
and yeah, like Justice League would have been right there. So yeah, that no, that would have defeated the whole purpose. So for non-human, I went with Cats from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh man, they were so creepy.
I loved Cats. And yes, Cats was slick. And the thing is, Cats would always, in a gentlemanly way, challenge Courage to some kind of game of sport. And usually Cats would win.
Yeah.
Like, I think that like the staring contest, Cats beat his ass. They played a handball, I think, and Cats beat his ass. So like Cats always won the challenges. but got defeated in the end, which he needed to. Not a great guy.
Yeah,
Definitely, diabolical.
he was
But yeah,
always creepy looking.
yeah. But I loved cats, and everything in that show was creepy looking. Like
I'll never forget the mummy dude.
there were not. Yeah, Return the Slab.
Yeah, man, that was still freaked me out.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. But yeah, most Courage the Cowardly Dog villains were creepy, and that was on purpose. And so, but yeah, Cats was easily my favorite. I loved Cats.
Yeah, no, like I said, for me, he was a little creepy. But yeah, every time he came up on screen, and also like when like him and Courage like they would argue, and Courage does that little sound he make the like yeah.
Yeah, just gibberish.
Okay. So for my non-superpowered person, oh wait, what are we? No, we're non-humanoid, right?
Yes, non-human.
Yeah, my bad. This probably won't come to anyone's surprise, but of course, I have to throw it back to my good guy, Optimus Prime. Um, this guy was going to make my list no matter what. Um, this is, and more specifically, Optimus Prime from the 1980 show. Was it 1980s? I believe it
It
was.
was the 80s, yeah.
Yeah. This is to me, this is still live action or any other cartoon. This version of Optimus Prime is still my favorite. Like they might look better in a lot of other stuff, but like this portrayal is still my favorite across any media. And like the speeches, the action, the leadership ability, like everything he did was like great. They literally were out here playing basketball, they played football, and like you were like, what is going on with these Transformers on Earth, bro? They're just out here chilling. But yeah, man, Optimus is just he's that guy. Like I cannot speak more highly about Peter Cullen and his ability that he's done with Optimus over the years. But still, just this classic is a throwback. And what's crazy is they even threw back the Transformers movie, the animated movie. They put it in theaters this year. Like it just came. They just put it back out in theaters and remastered it. And I think it came out like a month ago. And that was the one where people were pretty mad. Like I talked to someone who was older, who was a big Transformers fan, and they actually killed off Optimus Prime in this movie. And kids in the 80s was crying and sad because he didn't come back for a long time.
Ooh, all
So
right.
yeah, Optimus is my choice.
Okay, and a good choice. Um, all right. For non-powered, there are a lot of options here
Yeah.
because there are a lot of cartoon characters that don't have powers. I went with Huey Freeman from the Boondocks. I mean, for obvious reasons, if you've watched the Boondocks. If you haven't, like Brandon,
Yeah.
who needs to handle that. Um, Huey was 10 years old and one of the most intelligent characters in like fiction. And the Boondocks is styled like an anime, but it is not an anime, for the record. But it absolutely looks like one.
Yeah.
And a lot of the like way the characters moved and a lot of the choreography was heavily inspired by anime. But yeah, Huey was great. Huey is pretty much a freedom fighter. Like the first thing we hear Huey say is Ronald Reagan is the devil. They lied about 9/11. Like he goes right into it. So it's yeah. And again, Huey is highly intelligent, highly capable. Like Huey can fight grown people a lot of times. Now, of course, because he's 10, if they are skilled, it's not gonna go well for him. But yeah, like Huey's great. If you watch the show, you'll love Huey.
uh yeah, I was like when you mentioned him fighting like a lot of adults, he definitely fought a lot of adults and he definitely had some good fights.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like I think the only reason he lost is because he's 10. But if he was even a little bit like the fact that he did as well as he did against these highly skilled people that he fought against is impressive.
Yeah. Okay. This next one was actually a quick substitute, just on the fly, like literally just now. I literally thought about it as we was talking about that, and I had to do a quick Google search to make sure that this did come out in the West first. Um, my choice is Afro Samurai.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Afro, hey, Afro Samurai was a great show. Like that, the hunt. And I had to look it up. I had to make sure like it came out here first, and it did come out here first. But that was a great show. Basic concept, like okay, there's a tier system. If you have the white headband, I think there were three headbands, or maybe two.
I don't think it was
Um,
two.
okay, maybe okay, it was two. Yeah, so there were two headbands, and he had the number one headband, and basically everyone was coming after him. And then he had the dude who would always follow him around, like literally always follow him around and just talk shit.
His imaginary friend?
Yeah, like was he really imaginary or was he real?
I think he was his imaginary friend. I don't think anybody else could hear that dude.
Okay, it's been a while since I've seen it, but this is also one where I need to find out where this is. I need to run this one back. Um, did you ever get down with Afro?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I watched Afro Samurai when it came out.
Yeah,
And
that was really good.
yeah, like so there was a number two headband and a number one headband. I think the guy who had the number one headband killed his father, so
Right.
he and you can only fight the guy with the number one headband if you have the number two headband. So he eventually got the number two headband, which is why everybody was trying to fight him because you have to have the number two to get the number one. So,
Oh, and his friend had the number one headband, right?
or yeah, the guy who killed his dad, I think.
Wasn't that the teddy bear head dude?
Yes,
Okay, okay. I think that ended up being his friend, right?
I think you're right.
Because I remember that. I think either in the movie or in the show they did that.
I want to say it was, I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. At this point, almost. I think that was 2007. Yeah.
Yeah, I say
Um,
that was a good while ago.
yeah. But
Like, I,
Afro is my choice.
okay. All right. For abilities, again, a lot of ways you could go here, but I went with one that I'm hoping isn't terribly obvious. And I'm going to go with Aku from Samurai Jack. So, Aku, as far as I understand, literally means evil in Japanese. And Aku can do whatever he wants. Um, he can shapeshift, of course. He's probably immortal. He's, super strong, super fast. I don't know if he exists outside of time or if he can just manipulate or send people through time. But the whole story of Samurai Jack happens because Aku sends Jack to the future. Like he just opens a portal and throws Jack into the future, a future where Aku has already taken over and is, and Aku can only be defeated by divine weapons, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like regular stuff, it don't work. Like you have to have um like actual uh godly weapons to even attempt to harm Aku. But yeah, I think that Aku just kind of has like the whole package. Like he can do whatever he wants. I don't know if he has any like mind control powers, but he can do everything.
Literally shapeshift into anything you want to create stuff. Like Aku was that guy.
Yeah, like he can do whatever he wants. I imagine he could possess people. I'm pretty sure he can lift dead bodies and like necromancy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's on his list. He can do whatever he wants and he can fight. So yeah. So yeah, Aku's too much.
Okay. Which category was this one again?
Favorite
Ability.
ability.
Okay. All right. So for my last pick, favorite ability, And this is one like I was locked in when it came out, but like I ended up falling off of it. But like as I was watching, I really enjoyed it. And this is Ben 10 and
Oh, the
his
Omnitrix?
did with the Omnitrix, his ability to transform into, at the beginning, 10 different alien species, but eventually we saw Ben 10,000. But when this show came out, I was locked in for a long time. At least it felt like a long time. I'm looking at it now, it was only 3 seasons. And I know
Mhm.
I never did finish it, but I was locked in on this show. Ben was like quickly becoming one of my favorite characters. And then just the ability to transform into like any alien, I thought that was like so cool. And like he would only ever use a few of them when he got them, and then there would be certain ones when he transformed too. I was like, why you use that one? Like, come on, man, just use the one everybody want to see.
Use the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, the big one. That come on, bro, pick the big one. I don't want to see you transform into the one that can fly and open up the wings and just fly. No, bro, give me the big one.
Yep. Okay. Well, alrighty. Did you have any before we go back and review? Did you have any honorable mentions for any of the categories?
Yeah, for women, female, I had Avatar Kyoshi. That was going to be my pick. Um, non
Was it
superpowered, I had Bugs Bunny. That was actually going to be my original pick.
Bugs Bunny got superpowers? Like Bugs Bunny be doing all kinds of shit. I think Bugs Bunny has cartoon bullshit as a power. So I would argue Bugs Bunny absolutely has superpowers.
So it was good of me to, did it on fly,
I think
kind
that
of
was a
mix
good
up.
move because I would have said something.
Gotcha. And then favorite ability, American Dragon, Jake Long, transformation into a dragon. Because why not?
Because why not?
Did you have any?
Uh, I almost went Bugs for male characters.
Okay, yeah.
Um, for non-human, I like Bugs crossed my mind, but I would have probably gone with Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
Just because I enjoy seeing episodes with Foghorn Leghorn in them. Um, for powers and abilities, I was thinking Danny Phantom,
I almost went Danny Phantom. I figured you was gonna go Danny Phantom. That's why I went American Dragon. I mean,
and
Ben 10.
and I also thought about going the fairies in the Fairly Odd Parents.
I thought about her for favorite female.
Wanda,
Did you see that rebooting that?
I did not.
They're rebooting it with a black character. It's I believe it's a black girl
Oh, okay,
as the kid, but still Wanda and Cosmo still around.
okay, cool. And then, you know, I kept it on TV shows, but if I had gone movies, I also had some, like characters that I thought about, mostly from Disney. Like for Powers, Genie, obviously.
Yeah,
For females, Mrs. Incredible,
yeah,
because she is
incredible.
literally, yeah, she is, and she is a mom trying to keep her home together. Uh, so yeah, like I had like a whole Disney thing that I thought about doing, and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it to shows. But yeah, so I had a great time.
Yeah, it was a good one. Quick recap.
Quick recap. So for male character, I chose Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. For female, I chose Shigo from Kim Possible. For non-human, I chose Cats from Courage the Cowardly Dog. For non-powered, I chose Huey Freeman from The Boondocks. And for powers and abilities, I chose Aku from Samurai Jack because he can do everything.
For me, male character, I chose Cartman from South Park. Female character, I got Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls. For non-human, I had Optimus Prime from the Transformers. And for non-superpowered, I had Afro Samurai from Afro Samurai. And then for favorite ability, I had Ben 10 and the Omnitrix from Ben 10.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, Um, guys, if you need more of this, let us know on the Facebook group or on the Instagram. If you have your favorites, you already know who you would choose. Let us know in the Facebook or the Instagram group. Um, Beyond that, I guess we will bid you adieu.
Excellent meeting, sirs, exquisite as always. The briefing is now adjourned.